Hi, YouTube. I'm gonna try and talk to a few people and take care of your hearts without getting too hyperactive and without trying to let my frustration exhibit itself through anger. so, you need to know I'm taking credit for my work. When I was a little kid, I started studying scriptures, specifically the Greek. By the time I was 12, I had read the Bible, deciphering it with my intuition when I was 15. And then keep in mind, I spent countless hours in libraries and I belonged to book clubs and different things for even a mobile um, library.
This is not a blue moon.
Oh, no, no.
Now it is.
Just a minute.
Made brighter.
Be quiet.
Perpetual presence.
Oh, no, no,
Will never
no.
harm.
I told you no. Okay. so, um, yeah, we had a mobile library that would come in our neighborhood in the summertime. So, not even just going to public libraries, but also I helped my librarian in my elementary school categorize every book in there, even some ancient stuff that was in the back in cases in like a humidor, um, for protection. I helped her Dewey Decimal System, that whole thing with cards back in the day. It wasn't just thousands of books too. And most of them I had read by the time I was like 12. And some of them were very advanced. Then when I was 15, the Masons and Jesuits, overlooked by the Shriners, connected with the Scottish Rites and some other affiliated groups, pulled me in for I had different kinds of testing all through my life, different kinds of combat preparation. My education through that Blue Lodge was extensive for these times right now, and I'm not going to let anybody diminish my mind. Yes, I get downloads along with my hard work. That's why I'm out here, and that's why it's not just instinct. Maybe it was for you, but I had actual preparation from people. Look up the names if you're connected. It's Wallace William Clean Sr., um, Grandmaster Mason 3 times over 33rd degree, plus some other rights and degrees that he has, and another man named Paul Peabody, a Jesuit. And what I'm talking about, not just spiritually, but my education is extensive. Stop diminishing me on your level of understanding of me. That's okay. Now, I think I said that as nicely as I could. And if I hear any more bullshit out of anybody, like I'm uneducated and twit, I'm coming down on your ass spiritually. Well, I'll send my monster. You can't deal with that. And that brings me to the Spirit of God that's awakening in people and the projection of what was trying to keep the Spirit of God asleep to his self. Yeah. Well, that didn't happen to me. I was born knowing. and stuck in enemy camps, surviving and knowing with nobody to talk to until the internet developed, which I had quite a bit of input in a lot of that, and started getting online well over 30 years ago, talking to different affiliated groups and telling them to get this information out and different things. This is what I was made for. But don't diminish my education again, because it isn't going to go good for you. Okay, that's because yeah, my education also goes into deep combat like you wouldn't even know. You wouldn't even believe it. How strong I still am, and quick and agile. And I don't put up with anybody's shit. I'll fucking hunt you down physically, confront you through your electronic bullshit and all. That's where I operate the best, in the spirit. And that reminds me, the spirit, my promises that I will not betray for the true Christ spirit, the true spirit of God. I have never, never bowed to the Jesus loves me thing like people do, because I know better. I know who carries a demonic spirit and who wants people to bend and bow and crawl and who doesn't. I serve the one true God, and that's who I will never betray. There's things he's done and been through that I would never, and you could never even try and dig it out of my mind. There's nothing that could make me de- betray those confidences. Even if he were to deny me personally, which would be just stupid because um, I wouldn't deserve it. That would be the most unjust thing on this planet. And he's not going to let all of you get away with it either. That's why I know who my monster is. And then you're going to find out who the one true God is. It is not Jesus. So, anyway, yeah, I just needed to make you aware of a few things that you may not understand. I was never idle. We worked hard and played hard in my upbringing, and we suffered hard. So my dad did try to get out of all that shit. Um, 1972, he just wanted to pay his dues and be left alone, but they didn't have somebody to oversee the lodge at that time. And so he did go back to it, and I cut my ways. I separated myself with people because what their intentions were to control the Christ spirit or the female spirit and have control over that and society. And for a while, it looked like they were winning because, like I say, I had nobody to talk to. I mean, people are like, you let this happen, you let that happen. I don't let anything happen. I've been actively fighting this dark cabal by myself since I was a tiny baby. And you'd think, oh, well, that's not. I have a picture of me to just kind of give you a idea of my gifts from God. Picture of me at 9 months old riding my brother's big tricycle. 9 months old babies don't have the motivational thought of wheels, but I did. Just give you a little, I'm not blowing my own horn. I'm telling you of gifts and burdens that were laid upon me before I got here. Before I got here was a super extensive education, and it's not going to end when I leave here either. I serve the one true God through thick and thin, no matter what. And that's what I needed somebody in particular to know today. And that is out of pure love. And no, it's not a romantic thing. You know, whatever the future holds, I know I have romance in it, but that's not what my love and my friendship for people is. That's not what I'm all about. And I never have been. And nobody I've been connected to has ever gone without knowing the pure truth of what I do. And that's why they tried to take me out physically, spiritually, emotionally, but I never lost my connection, no matter how beaten or battered or torn down I was in any given situation. And they poured it on thick too, because I'm the only one that can do the mission I'm doing or did. Yes, I accomplished it. So, yeah. So I do feel better about that part. I still don't feel um, too cheery about being demeaned, and I'm not going to get over it. You know, God doesn't like being demeaned and lied about either, you know? So, and yeah, that's my counterpart. And yes, we're working together. And no, we are not in good moods till the truth is totally exposed on this planet. And every person that's innocent is safe. That ferocious spirit out of both of us is not going to be silenced. And if you get in the way of that, you're going to get hurt. It's like, oh, God's awake. Run, because you can't outrun God. I tried. I could only outrun him going up some steps. And I planned that I had to with physics. Thinking about it, you know. And that's the same as my spirit of what I'm doing too. I had to outrun that mentally to be here mentally for that part that would be tricked in our use when we were young, and they tried to jack us around and trick us and manipulate us and all that shit and drug us, condition us, all the things that a lot of us have been through because we're on a certain mission, you know? So they try and use like thought projection and different things to interfere with pure conversations that would be in the ether that would have been natural. And they tried to come in between that and they got caught. So, yeah. And once we know the truth, there's no going back. I mean, if you turn against what's true, you're condemning your soul. There's a lot of people like, oh, you'll be cursing your whole family up. Fucking get out of here with your bullshit. This is an individual basis for everybody. It's not cursing entire families or anything like that. It has nothing to do with that unless they're working as a adverse group to what is natural on this planet, and that's caring about other people in a real sense. If you're against that, and if you're against the truth, you're a direct enemy, and I'm not playing with you. There is no mercy for liars and manipulators and murderers. Oh, Yeah. For some reason, evil people don't like that when you call them a murderer. I don't know why. Seems to bother them, but it sure does shut them the fuck up right away. Yeah. Imagine how surprised he was when I knew that. Killing the male and the female and manipulating eggs and sperm and DNA to try and recreate God's spirit to control that. And the separation of that anger just backfires. It's a tool. Absolutely. And somebody said, do I understand? I understand more than anybody on this planet understands, except for the Spirit of God. But I'm right there with you. And I always have been. That's what I'm trying to say. No matter what it looked like, like if I'm a little kid and I'm sitting in a church or like for structure with my knowledge, I took my kids into a church for companionship with other little people and for the mere reason of the internal teachings that they had before they were born, and what their missions are and how they're being used. Some of it I couldn't even stop. It was the dark force was ready to murder them before they even had a chance. But it's the same with me. I just was a little more spiritually protected, but not from anybody physical or just the Spirit of God that wasn't even awake. It was set in the ether, and that's a lot of where my knowledge came from. Not really anybody telling me anything, and not even directly from God. And there's a lot more to that story, too, that I'm just not even going to go into with people because your understanding of it wouldn't even be there. I'm not putting you down. It's just way advanced chemical science that you don't need to concentrate on right now. So, yeah, just worry about keeping your head up and not letting that dark force get you down. Um, it's just if you look at okay, it's just I don't know. I don't know. I was gonna go somewhere else with that, but it doesn't matter. And then I was thinking honestly, I'm and this is what spurred me on to approach this in a little nicer manner than I would typically with people that directly insult me. But I got an insult this morning from somebody that I occasionally talk to on Facebook. And this prick says to me when I said we need to worry about clean air and clean water instead of rockets, rides into space and whatever, this prick says to me, yeah, if you're watching, um, I watch too much TV. I haven't watched any TV for decades. I mean, the electric's gone off, or I mean, like, my internet went down, and I watched, like, local, like, some crime show or something, but as far as mainstream media or whatever, you know what my reply was? I said, I haven't watched TV. I haven't watched it for decades. Fuck off, imp. That was my reply. And after I wrote that, I thought, well, for people I care about, I'm not going to be in that mood and lay that on you. So if you actually have the understanding of me having a Merriam-Webster dictionary, a 1920 edition that I have sitting up there. The King James that was changed to deceive people with the Hebrew texts in there and the codes that are in the Merriam-Webster, Strong's Concordance, and Masonic Blue Book, telling the truth of the whole thing, and word for word in the dictionary and where every word came from and the definitions they use in those scriptures, word for word in the dictionary. Let that sink in a second. That's not just English. That's not what every word in the dictionary is. It's the whole thing. And all the countries in the world that are included in this great deception that started in I think it was 1240 AD. The Hebrews added vowels and took away vowels to coin terms. Look it up. I have videos with that proof of that documentation of those changes to deceive people in religions. So if you think I'm behind in any way and you're schooling me once again, I'll ask nicely for the people that deserve it. Please stop. And you other ones, yeah, I'm not asking you shit. You're gonna suffer the consequences of fucking with me. Hope that's clear. So, yeah, I've worked hard, not letting anybody demean me. Ever. Try it. See what happens. I will chew you up alive. Give me some fuel. I'm not backing down from any confrontations. Are you crazy? I love it. I thrive in chaos. I'm not chaotic. My mind might go in different directions, thinking things that you can't keep up with, but that's not chaos. I'm organized. I thrive in the dark. No, I'm not a seed. I've always just been me. Wasn't planted anywhere. I've been me wherever I've gone all the time. And I'm not just waking up to who I am or none of your hokey bullshit. You think that, like that song from Toto, I bless the rains down in Africa? I was blessing in my crib. Try that on for a second. And you think you carry something. Might have been something I put here for you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not blowing my own horn. I'm telling you the truth of who I am. If you can't handle it, you're my direct opposition and I will chew you up alive. Don't doubt that. I'm coming after you in a big way. And so are a lot of other people that are sick of the liars and the manipulators out here just trying to make money off of people's unsuspecting innocence or gullibility or mind control. Try that on me. Try to manipulate me. I dare you. because I'm getting pretty sick of it. So, anyhow, I wanted to let somebody in particular know. Well, you warriors out there, it's your time to shine. And I'm right there behind you. And we're going to tear down this phony system of controlling people in the world. And yeah, it's going viral because that's the way it's supposed to. It's what it's supposed to. So, yeah, if you're ashamed of me in any way because of your own insecurities, uh, go meditate. It might help, for real. Yeah. But other than that, I think I've said enough. I just am not going to be demeaned anymore like I was some kind of lazy piece of shit that just fucking woke up. So that's enough. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at.